Hello, 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 everyone. How are you? Hope you're having a fantastic, fantastic day, and may peace be upon you. Thank you for watching another series of the Inspiring Women series with me, Dr. Izdihar Jamil. And today I have the fabulous Dr. Hanim Romainoor, who is a lecturer in graphics communication at the Universiti Sains Malaysia. Thank you so much, Dr. Hanim, for joining me today. And
Hi.
and today she's going to be sharing
Thank
with
you for having me.
my
Thank you for having me.
pleasure. Thank you. And then today she's going to be sharing with us the 2 design tips that's going to absolutely wow your audience. So Dr. Hanim, let's get straight to the point then. So we know there's a lot of graphics designers out
Yes.
there that trying, whether they're starting up, whether they've been in the business, and this is something of your expertise because you've helped me design personally all my book covers that hit #1 bestseller. So what is your top tip in yes so what is your top tip in actually wowing your audience, like for them to say, yes, I love that design?
Okay. For for me to share with the audience, the first tips is communication.
Mm-hmm.
So there will be always an iteration process when you do the design. So you have to communicate well with the client. So normally when you have a design, you will never have a perfect design at the start if you don't communicate with your client. So you have to understand what the client needs and wants. What do they prefer? What's their preferences? So that's my tips. So once you understand the uh, what's the client's needs and wants, then you can design something and then create a series of design. So
Yeah, she's
the
got your
client can
little
choose,
one.
the iteration will come back to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my
So
baby is
she's got her
crying. She
little
wants to
baby
join
there,
too.
the audience. But that's cool, right? That's what working mom does. So
Yeah,
basically, like they're never
yeah.
like all of a sudden, ta-da! This is the perfect design. It goes through a
Yes,
series of
there's no way.
iteration process. Like
Series of,
let's tweak the
yes.
title, let's tweak the typo, let's tweak the color. Let's tweak
Colors, the layouts. Yeah.
exactly the
The
layout.
concept, especially at the very beginning, the concept. So if we don't communicate, we don't have a communication with the client, or maybe you just reading a brief with no communication with the client, it might turn out that the client don't like the design. They probably say, I don't like her design, or I don't like his design, but actually there's no communication happening in the process of doing the design. So the iteration won't happen. The iteration didn't happen during the process. So the client might conclude saying that this, and then the designer probably will think, oh, I'm not good enough or what. But actually the designer shouldn't think like that. They should think, I should communicate and understand their needs and wants. Then you can produce a series of design where the client can choose from, so the iteration
Absolutely.
process
So
can
the
happen.
iteration process, communication is key in anything, in relationship, in business, in personal, in marriage. So communication is
Yes.
key, and not making the assumption.
Yeah.
And
And
iteration is part of the natural
yes, correct.
process. Like even if you have to do, I don't know, 5 to
Yes.
10 iteration, doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means you're tweaking it to get better. So that's the first tip, Dr. Hanim. What would be your
Yes.
second design tip to absolutely wow and knock your audience out?
So this is very interesting. So the second tip should be, you cannot base the design on my preferences, means that your preferences, or I like the design because I like the design. It has to be coming from the client's preferences. So means they you understand their and wants, you what they like, not what the designer like.
Absolutely.
Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yeah,
So
that is
means that,
absolutely spot on, isn't it? Like basically, you're not kind of in your own
yeah,
world that you think this is best, because
yes,
at the end of the day, you
yes,
are giving a service to the
mhm,
client. So it's important to kind of like
yes,
um,
yes.
cater to that, to what they're wanting.
Important to design, yeah, that preferences, yeah.
Exactly, the
It's
preferences.
important to cater to the client's preferences, because sometimes when we design, when a designer design, maybe they have a lot of illustration, beautiful colors, bright colors, but you don't have that. Initially you didn't go through the first process, and then when the second one happened, and then you think that, oh, I like this design, it's beautiful, the illustration take a lot of process, the colors and everything, but when you show it and present it to the client, they will say, I don't like it, I don't like this design, I don't like your design. It can happen. It can
It
happen to
happens all the time,
professionals or
doesn't
amateur or
it?
yeah, it happens all the time, even for professionals. But that's where you need to understand, you cannot design based on your and based on, in Malay we say short sendiri.
Yes, it's like
In
you're in your
English,
own
it
world,
should be
isn't it?
in your own world. Yeah, without any communication, and then you suddenly jump to number two, and then you just design based on intuition, and then you think that you know the client, but actually you don't even know what they want or need. So that's
Absolutely. And
that's
that's a
tips number
spot
two.
on.
Don't be
That's
in your own world. You have to
Yeah,
get
that's
out
spot
of the
on,
bubble.
Dr. Hanim, because like you and I worked together on our book project, on my book project. So there's been like many iterations, change the color. I like this color. Or maybe you can try this
Yeah,
writing or put this thing here, until we finally
yeah,
come to a design
yeah,
that I would say the design is here and then your client is here. You would come to a design when you do
yeah.
iteration that you're all going to come together, that fits perfectly in a puzzle.
It comes together. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's very different from fine arts actually.
Oh, fine art is when you like
Graphic design and
Picasso, isn't
fine arts.
it? But
Yeah,
when you're designing for
fine
that,
arts is about in the own world.
yeah, exactly, in their own world. And but when you're designing for a client and a particular audience, you need to win them, because you can only sell what they
Under,
wanted,
yes,
and what
they want.
visual,
Yes,
exactly,
correct.
what pleases them and not what pleases you. Because like for me, I don't like when you
Yes,
I
correct.
mean, Hanim knows because she works does my book cover, but she knows I don't like any fluffy furly flowery thing. I just can't stand it. Like
Girly or
exactly, I
whatnot.
just
I
like
come to
simple,
realize
bold,
that.
clean lines. So let's wrap things
Yeah,
up, Dr.
simple,
Hanim.
clean.
So what would be your number one advice to all the designers out there that wants to design like an award-winning, that a design that will absolutely wow the client? What's your number one advice?
So my advice is, you create relationship and trust with the client. So you have to open up yourself, open up your world to them, and create that relationship, create, open that trust, give that trust, and then once the client likes you, trusts you, they will open up and share more about their needs and wants. And that's where you get your tips to do your a better design. And then another one is, there's no boring design,
Mhm.
only boring designers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's no boring design,
So
only
that's my
boring
tips.
designers. Exactly. And remember that building trust and relationship, those are the two things that are the currency in any business, in any relationship. Because, that's
Yes,
where your client's going to be
yes. Include.
comfortable giving you feedback, right? Okay, I wanting it this way, I wanting it that way. And as designers, like please don't take it too hard. Like we mean bad things. It just means that we want to try something out. Doesn't mean that it's not good or anything. I think that's also important, right, Dr. Hanim?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. That's very important. Don't take things personally, because some designers who I talk with, or
Mm-hmm.
even professional, or they've been in a business for 10 years. Some of them still get what do you call that? Take things personally. So I think that they shouldn't, we designers, or we shouldn't do that. it should be opening. The relationship should be open, and then it has to have trust. So that's the tips
Absolutely.
that I sharing lah. So
Exactly. And
and
like
the
be
yeah
open, like
the
Dr.
number
Hanim
one
says.
point and number one the second point
Yeah, exactly. It comes together, which is communication, being iteration,
is
and
together in a
deli-
package.
yeah, delivering what your clients want, and take your emotions out because it doesn't mean
Yes,
anything. And just focus on making the
yes,
best design that you and your client is gonna absolutely knock your socks off, and are happy with. So
yes.
thank you so much, Dr. Hadim, for your time. And I know you've got to get back to your kids. So thank you so much for joining me. And thank you everyone for listening and watching
You're
with me.
welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're my pleasure. And then I'll see you, darlings, in the next episode with the TEDx Inspiring Women series with me, Dr. Izdihar Jamil. See you soon. Take care. Say bye, honey. Bye.